Hi and Happy New Year. Welcome back. This is Mike from brainstemschool.com and let's get right down to the lesson. Today we'll be talking about collections and specifically lists. We're only going to have a basic brief introduction to lists today and we'll get into more depth in the future. So a list is a collection of values. So let's start in the interactive window and we'll create an empty list. You can print the list as if it's a variable and you see there's nothing in it. Let's create another list. This list is going to have four integers, four ints as its values. And now we can see if we print the entire list, you get all the values. Okay, not too useful so far, but what we can do is access each individual value. Using the brackets, we can access any value by number. Now, you might have expected 2 to give us 34, but one important thing to remember when it comes to lists is that the first element is known as element number 0. And the last element, therefore, is going to be one less than the total number of elements. How many elements are there in this list? Well, we can count them, but if we didn't have the opportunity to count them, we can use the len function. Now, some of you might, if you know anything about Python, know that I'm doing a little more work than I have to. In the interactive window, if I give it a value, it gives me the value back. Likewise, if I were to give it a variable, such as a single element from a list, it gives me its value, and I don't actually have to print it. So we'll just continue doing that for the rest of this lesson. Now, if I were to try and access an element that is not on the list, such as element number 4, I get an exception, index error. This list index is out of range. You can assign them just like they're individual variables. So for instance, if I want to change the first element, I put it on the left side of an equal sign or an assignment operator. And now if I were to inspect the entire list, you see that the first element's value is 456, and the rest are the original integers. And as I mentioned before, they don't all have to be the same type. In this list, you see that they're all ints, but they could be a mixed group of types. So in this case, we can do an integer, we can do a float, we can do a string, we can even do another list. And now if I were to access the first element, the second element, the third element, and I can access the third element, the first element of the third element. And that becomes a multi-dimensional list. So this is a brief introduction to lists. It gets into much more depth, and in fact, lists offer some of the strongest and most powerful features in the language of Python. But for now, we're going to treat them just as most languages call it, a basic array, or a collection of values. And don't forget to head over to brainstemschool.com, check out the free ebook or the YouTube channel, which you found this video at. And once again, Happy New Year, and hopefully we'll get back on the swing of publishing a couple of videos a week. And remember, never more than 7 minutes per video. Learn to code in 7 minutes or less. Bite-sized chunks. Have a great day.